Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of the 2025 Mazda CX-90. The CX-90 is Mazda's full-size SUV in their lineup, and as you can see, the one that we're taking a look at here today is the Turbo Preferred, which is above the Turbo Select. The Preferred package is going to give you a couple of great options, which does include your heated front seats, your wireless charging pad, wireless Apple CarPlay, as well as Android Auto, and you also have a power moonroof. This one here also does come standard with a 12.3-inch infotainment system, as well as a 3.3-liter turbocharged inline six-cylinder. With that being said, a huge thank you to Dorado Mazda, as well as Jairon, which is a part of the Dorado Motors Company here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see with the key, it's going to be your traditional Mazda key, and it does have a nice feel and weight to it. You have your Mazda badge right here, followed by your controls on the left side, and they include your lock, unlock, your trunk release, and your panic button. Starting off here in the front of the vehicle, you're going to have a pretty nice and unique looking grille, kind of like in a waterfall sense, as you can see here, which does look very, very cool. You do have your front radar cruise control right where the Mazda emblem meets, and then to the bottom right is going to be your front facing camera. But when you pan out a little bit, you are also going to be getting kind of a unique and premium look, and you also do have your front parking sensors on this one as well. In addition, you do have your standard LED daytime running lights with your LED headlamps, as well as coming to your tires. We're taking a look at a set of Toyo Open Country tires, and these ones are on, I want to say 20-inch wheels, but I could be off. These are 235 55 R19s all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket and come to the door handle, there's a touch sensor right here. Put your hand in, and one beep will indicate unlocking, allowing you to jump on inside of the vehicle. And when you're finished, close it up, tap this button here, and one beep will indicate locking. The exterior color of this one is finished off in Deep Crystal Blue Mica with the Griege leather interior. Coming over to the door panels, you can see you're going to have some hard touch molded injection plastic on top. However, you do have some softer material down here. You have this full wood trim coming across the side of the door right here, as well as this aluminum finish, which looks nice. You have an aluminum door handle, your unlock and lock switches here. You do have your controls here for your mirrors, your power windows, and your child window lock. You also have a small storage area down here, followed by an area for a small cup holder. Along with that smart key access system, the CX-90 does come standard with push-button ignition. By having the key fob in your pocket or within the vehicle itself, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Mazda CX-90 does come standard with a fully leather-wrapped, racking pinion power steering wheel with controls on the left as well as on the right sides. Left is on the house controls for your audios, for your audio controls for the volume, your source controls there, followed by a hands-free telephone and voice right here. You have your info button right here. And to the right side, you're going to have your cruise control settings as well as your cruise control function right there, which is pretty cool. Coming up here to the top, we're taking a look at your three main gauges. To the left, you have your tachometer. In the middle, you have your speedometer, and to the right, you're going to have your coolant temperature as well as your fuel gauge. To the left of that speedometer, you're going to have your average miles per gallon as well as your odometer reading. And to the right, you're going to have your range to empty as well as the exterior temperature. We can take a look at this middle portion here, and as you can see, we can make a couple of changes via the steering wheel, and it's going to show us our low on fuel indicator, but we're not going to be driving the vehicle today. It's going to revert back to the standard needle, driver information, which includes your compass and average fuel economy, a picture of the vehicle for your safety features, any warnings, and then back to that needle as you can see there. Now coming over here, we're taking a look at a 12.3-inch infotainment system exclusive to the CX-90, as well as some other models as well, which does look very, very nice. First thing you're going to notice when you step on in here is that you have this large display, and it does look very, very impressive. Now, with that being said, as you can see, we're taking a look at our audio system, what's playing on the radio. And as you can see, you do have some icons at the bottom, which includes messages, as well as Bluetooth connection, and your little charge icon there for you put your phone on the wireless charging pad at the bottom. So with that said, we're going to go into our menu, and that's going to allow us to access things pertaining to the audio system, which includes our source list, our favorites, station list, tuner controls, manual tuning, radio text, FM settings, as well as audio settings. And then as we tap down, or go back actually, we'll be sent to our standard main menu here, which includes our information, entertainment, communication, navigation, as well as your settings. Starting off here with information, it's going to give us our fuel efficiency monitor, which monitors fuel efficiency in real time and view fuel efficiency history, as well as a vehicle status monitor, which views important vehicle information, messages, as well as intervals. Coming down to entertainment, this is where we will find our audio system, where we started off with. Communications is going to allow us to connect a Bluetooth device to the vehicle. And then when we go to our communication, that's going to lead us to whenever we do actually connect the phone to the vehicle, it's going to give us our contacts, text messages, Mazda roadside assistance, your dial pad, as well as communication settings. Coming down to navigation, this is going to not have the SD card in order to operate that navigation system feature, so we will not be checking that out today, unfortunately. And then we come down to our settings. Our settings is going to be a comprehensive list of different things that we can go through, as far as things that we can adjust, enable, and disable, and make it your own. You have your in-vehicle displays, sound settings, safety settings, vehicle settings, connectivity settings, and system settings. Starting off with your in-vehicle displays, you're going to have right here when you click on it, your center display, which is going to adjust the display brightness, contrast, and more, as well as your instrument cluster display, selects the contents shown on the instrument cluster. Coming to sound settings, it configures the in-vehicle listening experience. You have your audio settings, vehicle notification and warning volume controls, and then your system button volume. Going further into our audio settings, we can adjust our sound adjustment, our bass, treble, listening position, our fader, our balance, as well as our automatic level control, which automatically adjusts volume level to compensate for vehicle speed. Coming down to our safety settings, it configures safety and driver assistance features, which does include our driver assistance system, safety alerts, collision avoidance, driver attention alert, pedal misuse alert at the bottom, and then your parking sensors. Coming to vehicle settings, it configures vehicle convenience features, which includes your paddle shift lock, or excuse me, your paddle shift logic. You do have your doors, exterior and interior lighting, rain sensing wipers, your turn signals, rear window defogger, occupant comfort, rear seat alert, fuel, as well as your fuel door lock delay. Coming down to our connectivity settings, which configures Bluetooth and other device connectivity settings. It's going to allow us to connect through our Bluetooth as well as phone connectivity. It's basically going to allow you to go into the settings for that, actually, I should be saying. You have your Wi-Fi settings as well as the wireless charging settings. And then coming down to your system settings is going to configure your language, time, and other general settings. That's going to allow you to adjust things such as your clock, your language, the temperature, the distance and speed, units, pressure units, your Grace Note database update, as well as your Grace Note database album art, your connected services, as well as software updates for the system in the vehicle, as you can see, and a default factory reset at the very bottom. And so with that being said, that is going to do it here for the infotainment system portion of the tour in the Mazda CX-90. But before we move any further, to the right, you're going to have your current time, which is completely off. And then to the far right, you're going to have your access to your wireless Apple CarPlay, as well as your wireless Android Auto. With that being said, coming down further, as you can see, you do have some more that's hard touch material. You have your hazard light button here. Come below that, you do have your control center here for your climate controls. You have your vents here. You're going to have heated seats for the front and front passenger. That's standard on the Preferred package. Front and rear defrost, your fan speed, fan positioning, recycling, rear controls here, which is what this is. AC button right here to turn the AC itself on or off, and this is to turn the fan itself on and off, as well as your dual preset, or not dual presets, your dual temperature adjustments on both sides. With that said, coming down here, we do have a wireless charging pad, which is very nice. As you can see, you can just put your phone there and it will charge wirelessly for you. You also have a USB port right over there as well. You're going to have two cup holders on the right. You're going to have your MI drive here on your left, which is your drive selector. Your automatic transmission here, hill descent control button there. And then coming down here, this is where you'll be finding that scroll that is used for the infotainment system. You do have your navigation button, a back button, a home button, as well as your audio button for your shortcuts, followed by your favorites button. Your volume control knob is right here, electronic parking brake, as well as your brake hold. Now, this vehicle does come standard with an automatic transmission. Put into reverse, you do get that backup camera with guidance lines, and they do not adjust when you turn the wheel. That's actually going to be on a higher trim, which is pretty nice to see though, as you can see. And then coming to your MI drive right here, this is where you'll be able to cycle through your different drive modes, which includes off-road, you have normal, and you have sport mode. Come over here to your glove compartment. As you can see, split opens. You have a good amount of storage space inside, as you can see there. You also have two USB-C ports inside as well. One last thing I want to highlight here is that you do have this kind of full wood coming across this entire section here. And while it does look fake, and close this up for a cleaner look, it does add a nice clean look to the metal portion, which is very nice. Coming to the seats themselves, this one being the preferred, it's going to be a step up from the base model, so you are going to still get that creature comfort that you would want in a vehicle like this. As you can see, it's very nice, and overall, I do like it. Perforation coming down the middle, as well as this very nice black trim. It does add a nice touch to it, and you have some decent side bolsters as well. Come over here to our glove box. It is lined with felt, it's dampened, and you have a decent amount of storage space inside. Coming up here, we do have our mirror. We do have our controls here for our overhead lights, as well as for the sunroof. We do have our sunglass holder. We do also have our visor here with a mirror, as well as a light. And as we come over to the left side of the steering wheel, we do have our active send stop switch right here, traction control system off switch, parking sensors off switch here. This is for your safety features. You can turn that off here. And then this is to open up your cargo area. Now, with that said, give me a second. I'm going to move the car forward because it is starting to pour outside today. So we'll continue the tour of this amazing 3-row SUV. Coming into the second row of the Mazda CX-90, as you can see, materials do follow through, and they do look really nice in here. You do have two seat pockets, one behind the driver's side and one behind the passenger side, as you can see. You're going to have your rear air vents in the middle, two USB-C ports, your controls here for your climate. You have your fan positioning, fan speed to turn it on, as you can see there, and to adjust your temperature. And over here, you do have your powered armrest with two cup holders. Now keep in mind, this is a 3-row SUV, and because it's set up the way that it is, or as we call it in the automotive lineup, or industry rather, a bench setup, it's going to allow 3 across, which means you might be wondering, how do you get into the third row of a CX-9, for example? All you would have to do is just tap this button down here. The seat will fold over like this. You would have to move this up, and then you'll have access to the third row, which, as you can see, is currently down. And when you're done, put up like that, and you have this lever down here at the bottom where you can make the adjustment to pull it back or to pull it even up closer for your own convenience. And one last thing, you do have your privacy covers right here. Fuel tank. Coming to the back of the Mazda CX-90, as you can see, it's really nice. You have LED taillights back here. You have your CX-90 and all-wheel drive badges here, as well as the eSky Active G badge right there, and your rear parking sensors. This one here does have an automatic liftgate. And coming inside of the cargo area of the Mazda CX-90, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. If you're comparing this to something like the smaller CX-70, the reason why the CX-70 is probably a bit more popular than the CX-90 is that the CX-70 is basically this vehicle with one less row. Whereas with this vehicle, you have a full 3-row experience. So with the way that this is set up right now, with the third row folded down, you have 40.2 cubic feet of space. If you have the third row up, you'd be looking at just over 15 cubic feet of space. So you have 40 cubic feet of space with the way that this is set up right now. You can fold down the seats via the levers on the sides, and they do fold relatively flat. And when you do that, cargo space will then increase to 75.3 cubic feet of space, which is not too bad. Now, since we're back here, we do have our all-weather floor mats, carpeted mats, our cargo blocks, as well as our roadside assistance kit, or basically a first aid kit for short. And as we lift up this portion down here, we do have our fix-a-flat kit, and I believe at the very bottom is going to be our spare tire. When you're done, just tap this button here, and it will close on automatically. Under the hood of the Mazda CX-90, we're taking a look at a 3.3 liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder engine. It produces 280 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. This vehicle will get on average a 24 city, 28 highway, and 26 combined, and this one's going to be through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Alright guys, now coming up to the window sticker for this vehicle, as you can see, we're taking a look at our 2025 Mazda CX-90 Turbo Preferred, finished off in Deep Crystal Blue Mica with the Griege leather interior. I do want to make a correction here. I did just say that this comes with a 10-speed. It actually comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission. And all that you can see here is going to come standard with the vehicle. Coming down below, we do have an MSRP starting out at $41,145. We do have our all-weather floor mats for the bench seats for $225, the cargo blocks for $50, the first aid kit for $35, the roadside assistance kit for $250, the wheel locks for $90, and the the wheel locks is for $75. The roadside assistance kit is $90, as you can see there. And then our preferred package is going to come at no charge since it's at the trim level. And it does include things such as our power moonroof, our heated front seats, 12.3-inch color center display, wireless phone charger, wireless Apple CarPlay, as well as Android Auto. It does have a total vehicle and options list at $41,870, as well as delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,455, for a total of $43,325. Fuel economy for this vehicle, like I mentioned, comes in at 24 city, 28 highway, and 25 combined. And this vehicle does get an overall rating of 5 out of 5 stars from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Now, while it may be a rainy one today, it was pretty nice to come check out this beautiful example of the Mazda CX-90, as it is, again, Mazda's full-size SUV, and it's a pretty popular one, although, let's face it, the CX-70 is probably going to attract more buyers because it is basically the same car that you're looking at here with one less row to worry about. But with that being said, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this walk around and tour of the 2025 Mazda CX-90 Turbo Preferred, finished off in Deep Crystal Blue Mica with the Griege leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.